Okay, let's go.
Now, nakita ko tong isang post recently and well, it's kinda alarming and nakakalungkot na ganito yung nangyari. So, before that, syempre, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe and give this video a like. I will be posting videos from time to time para lang din for health purposes. At the same time, I want this to be a routine for us. So, deworming is usually a program under the Department of Education that is collaboration also, I think, with the Department of Health. So in this situation, ang coordination nila, I think dun sa news is the Rural Health Office in partnership with the school or the elementary school. Now, deworming is a 2 times a year event that is usually done or conducted in the months of January and the same time months of July. Now, deworming is a procedure wherein you provide medication sa mga bata para mapuksa ang soil-transmitted helminths. So, mga soil-transmitted helminths, ito ay mga bulate na nakukuha sa lupa. And yung bulate na yan, pwedeng dumaan yan sa paa, pwede rin yan dumaan sa infected na pagkain, o kung sakaling yung bata naghahawak kung saan-saan sa lupa, tapos yung sinubo niya sa bunganga, pwedeng magkaroon ng risk of transmission ng bulate. Now, kadalasan yan sa mga bata. Kaya sila ang target ng deworming procedures. Ginagawa natin yan twice a year para ma-avoid din natin yung complications ng soil-transmitted helminths. Mga examples ng complications dyan, undernutrition or malnutrition, intellectual delays, kasi syempre kulang ang nourishment, hindi nakakapag-process ng mabuti yung bata, laging sakitin yung bata kasi sumasakit ang tiyan because of the high levels of worm index sa katawan, no? Now, kung nagbibigay tayo ng deworming procedures, dapat nasa tamang dosage din naman tayo. Ang mga medications na binibigay natin for deworming is usually albendazole and mebendazole. Now, I saw the video of the father recently tonight. Sabi niya, the child was given 400 milligrams. Hindi yan mabanggit kung anong type of drug, pero there is only one drug in the 2 types of medication that is being applied in the policy of deworming sa ating bansa. That is either alben or mebendazole. So in the case of a 400 milligram tablet, single dose, that will be albendazole. Now, ang nabanggit din niya is 8-year-old yung bata. So, the 8-year-old child falls within the category of 2 years old and above, which is appropriate for an albendazole dose of 400. So, tama naman yung dosage na binigay dun sa bata. So, there's nothing wrong with the appropriate dosage. Kapag less than 2 years old kasi, ang dosage ng albendazole should be 200 milligrams na tablet. Or kung hindi available ang 200 mg na tablet, yung 400 mg, hahatiin yon sa dalawa. Okay? So, yung 1/2 lang nabibigay sa bata. And that will be done every 6 months. Okay? Now, if the alternative, we have your mebendazole. So, for mebendazole naman, 500 mg tablet ito. For both the less than 2 years old and the same time more than 2 years old. Same dose across the board. So, in terms of the dosage of the antibiotic, if it's albendazole, pasok siya within the normal dosage for the patient. Kailangan ma-address yun appropriately. Another thing is, syempre, there should be consent. Consent because it's a procedure. It's a procedure. Kung procedure yan, may gagawin kasi sa pasyente. So, kung may gagawin sa pasyente, mas mahalagang may consent sa magulang ng bata. Take note na yung bata is, sabi niya, is 8 years old. So, kung 8 years old, there's no legal consent. So, you need the document signed by the parents, the mother or the father. Unfortunately, dun sa interview with the father, as the father claimed, he was not aware of procedures. So, we don't know if there is proper documentation with regards to the deworming procedures in the school. So that would also be good to be verified kasi mas mahalaga pa rin na proper consent would be taken para lang din legal basis. At saka you should always explain, okay, what is the purpose of deworming. Alangan explain mo sa bata Kaya siyempre yung bata hindi niya maintindihan correctly para sa anong deworming or bibigay ka lang ng tableta ng papainom. It should always be part of the orientation of the school kung what is deworming and why is it done. And at the same time, when can it be given, and at the same time, syempre, what can be the possible adverse effects or events that can happen during deworming. Okay? Para lang din maintindihan ng mga magulang. So, dapat magkaroon din ng meeting with the parents of those who are eligible for deworming if we're giving the medication. Okay? Para lang din, syempre, hindi sila pipirma basta-basta. It's for the benefit and for the safety of the children. And yun sana yung mahalagang ma-include. If wala man na ito sa mga protocols, mas maganda sa bawat schools, meron silang mga ganitong uri ng pag-uusap. Especially kung meron namang PTA, Parent Teachers Assembly or Association, i-talk this out. Pag-usapan ninyo kung anong para saan ba itong procedure na to. Will I consent this to my patient or to my children to take this medication? And aside from that, syempre, basta din na kailangan maintindihan is kung ano yung mga pwedeng mangyari. Okay? Or possible repercussions or possible things that we need to do if ever magkaroon ng allergy or adverse effects. Unfortunately, may nangyaring ganitong sitwasyon, and the best thing to do is syempre document things that happen in between the dosage up to the day na nagkaroon ng critical illness. Okay, mas mainam pa rin na ma-document natin yun. Now, for the side of the Rural Health Office, it's also important that they save yung gamot na binigay sa mga bata. Kasi it was noted that there were other children that were noted to be upset yung stomach nila. Some gumaling na, okay, nakabalik na sa klase. Pero others weren't likely that easy to be resolved yung symptoms nila. So, swerte yung iba. Pero syempre yung iba, nagkaroon pa rin ng symptoms, and eventually, ito nga, it's unfortunate that one situation or one event occurred like this na nangyari. So, ano bang kailangan ma-secure din ng mga RHU or yung Rural Health Unit na nagbibigay ng gamot? Kasi syempre, most likely, nanggaling sa kanila yung gamot. The expiration date, the lot number. Okay. Expiration date is always important. Baka the medication may be expired, or the lot number. Is the lot number safe kung let's say hindi naman sina-flag ng mga manufacturers before as to be a medication that should be pulled out, okay, for replacement or restock? So that is also essential na a document.